It was just 6 months ago that 90 individuals met for the first time, with little more in common than a desire to excel, a desire to take on the challenge of becoming a police officer. 110 days of training passed that were rigorous, vigorous, and any other adjective that emulates pain and learning, but perhaps more importantly, accomplishment. We spent countless hours memorizing information each night using a modified command presence, whether it was in our car, our home, or for some, in our sleep. We had to constantly repeat definitions and 400 codes, so much that it didn't take long before our significant others were able to recite things like, probable cause exists when the facts and circumstances known to the officer would warrant a prudent man believing that a crime had been committed and that the accused had committed it, leaving us only to comment, honey, you forgot to say sir. The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Academy is expected to be a first-rate training facility where recruits master the necessary skills to take on the challenging task of police work. As we have seen with each preceding class, and as we have experienced ourselves, this benchmark of excellence is more than expectation. It's a day-to-day reality. You can imagine how the tone is set in the first week. We arrived as civilians in plain clothes, anxious and overwhelmed by the schedule and surrounding adjustments to come. We were issued books and binders stacked this high on our desks, filled with material to study immediately. And of course, we were introduced to new sets of rules that would break down the convenient lifestyles we were once accustomed to. What had begun as an instructive orientation of what each recruit was soon to be expected to do had now turned into a sensation of anxiety and uncertainty, a sort of calm before the storm. And then came what is now remembered as one of the longest mornings in history. First inspection. The beginning of this day seemed to be designed as an opportunity for us new recruits to meet our TAC officers, up close and personal. For some, the introduction was literally a 2 to 3 inch face-to-face encounter. Definitions that had flowed smoothly off our tongues the night before had now become the mere stuttering of, ma'am, request permission to recover, ma'am. And, of course, boots that had taken days of exertion and thousands of cotton balls were quickly outshined and put to shame as each TAC officer walked past. In seconds, that day, we learned a degree of humility that it takes some people a lifetime to understand. But at the same time, through the yelling and screaming, we were made to comprehend that individuals would not survive the pressure of the academy. We were expected to come together, trust in one another, and become one team. This concept was no more apparent than in our training with OC spray, the day we had to complete an obstacle course after being exposed to the ever-popular oleoresin capsicum. We each endured a 3-second burst and were required to fight through the pain and temporary blindness. But whether it was water provided to wash your face, or words of encouragement from a fellow recruit, we each learned that we could depend on one another, and we each became part of a team. Everything we were taught was designed to keep us clear-headed under the most dynamic situations, like when recruit Polson became the first recruit in Academy history to have his brand new patrol car, while unoccupied, roll backwards and hit a light pole during a felony car stop practical. But despite the embarrassment and the anticipation of the ramifications, he maintained focus, and he scored a 98%, highest score that week. Among the most important aspects of the Academy is developing the department values, represented in the acronym I CARE. Each day, upon being called to attention, we proudly recited one of these 5 values: integrity, courage, accountability, respect for others, and excellence. Over the weeks, we were taught to perfect these principles and further incorporate them in our everyday lives, both on and off duty. But of the 5 ideals, courage resonates with Class 106 the most. Each of us will not soon forget the moment when Sergeant Harney entered our classroom to inform us that one of our own, Sergeant Henry Prendez, had been killed in the line of duty. With shock in our faces, our hearts dropped, and our throats filled with that lump that makes it difficult to breathe. This was by far the most challenging day of the academy. One would expect this type of trial to cause recruits to question their decision and perhaps become confused. And though all of us went home that evening in sadness, all of us returned that next morning, reaffirmed and dedicated more than ever to earn our badge and carry out the honor of protecting our community, the honor in wearing that same patch as such a courageous officer and hero. Throughout the 22 weeks, through this intensive training, we have strengthened our character, we have strengthened our commitment, and of course, we have strengthened our courage. All of which are ingredients that, when mixed with our dedication and self-devotion to earning this badge, created 72 brothers and sisters, 72 who would do anything for each other, and 72 who stand here today proud to graduate as a class of 106. Sergeant Harney and our academy staff, the guidance and leadership that each of you displays gives us all a benchmark for which to strive. You are all truly unmatched instructors and mentors, and the knowledge you've instilled in each one of us will undoubtedly keep us safe and successful in the field. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. In addition, each of us has cause to thank the friends who stood by us and family that supported us. Our achievement here today is owed in part to the spouses, parents, and significant others who made our lunches, helped shine our boots, and assisted us in preparing for practical problems. Thank you for dealing with our emotions, motivating us when needed, and actively going through the academy with us each and every day. From day one of the academy until this moment, we have undergone a significant transformation. A transformation from a citizen to a police officer. A transformation that has changed our lives forever. We are no longer negligent of our environment and relaxed to what is around us. Rather, we are constantly looking at people's hands, glancing at vehicle license plates, and always maintaining a sense of concern for others. While we hope for the best, we are always prepared for the worst. Any person, when faced with the decision to protect himself or a loved one, will instinctively rise to the occasion. But to decide to make a career of protecting the public, to put yourself in harm's way day in and day out for people you have yet to meet, that takes a unique individual. Class of 106, it is a common misconception that graduation is the end of a journey. But the truth is, this is only the beginning. In just a few short moments, we will become the newest members of society that have dedicated themselves for the well-being of others. We will become those unique individuals. And perhaps most importantly, we will become Las Vegas Metropolitan Police officers. A tight-knit family that makes a difference in the lives and hearts of a community. Thank you.
Recruit Koren, that was an excellent speech, and if you're an example of the young men and women that are graduating today, we're in really, really good shape.